Thanks for joining me to make a mermaid love potion bottle. We're going to start with a bottle that almost went to the recycling bin, and I have chosen to work with this pretty blue paper. It has small writing on it too, so I'm actually more interested in that than I am the large print. I really don't want to use any of the large print, but I don't want to waste it either, so let's cut the large print off, because I will definitely use that for something else. It's absolutely beautiful. I like the weight of this. This is actual glass, which is super nice. So let's see, let's tear this. This is the bottom. Let's do to here. All right, now I have a few ideas. But let's do the same thing that we did before to soften this paper. We're gonna crinkle it up. It's a lot easier to work with when you're wrapping a bottle or wrapping something. If it's nice and soft, it just bends and folds easier. And it also just gives it a really nice aged, weathered look. I'm going to do what I did with the last one, and I'm gonna notch. Let me see if I have enough to go around. Oh, I do, look. Oh, it's perfect, okay. Let's notch the top like we did before. That way, when we wrap the bottle around it, that'll just fold right over. And let's do a few here. Didn't mean to slam that on the table. All right, now, let's go ahead and get some decoupage. I'm gonna move it over here so the sticky doesn't get on that other part of my paper. A little bit more on here for the bottle, although the bottle did seem a little bit sticky already. Let's get it up here on the neck. We can't forget about that. So here we go. My scissors are the way. Oh, I better lift that up. I didn't put that in the right spot. Gotta pay attention here. All right, so let's go right here. It's a funny shaped bottle. I hope that it will work out okay. So I'm just gonna start rubbing it from the bottom actually. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. And just, so we have an interesting area here because remember how that bottle is shaped. It's not nice and perfectly round like our first bottle was. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my scissor down in here and I'm gonna cut all the way down. And I can wipe that glue right off my scissor at any point in time. In order to get the paper to fold over the curves properly, I am cutting a little deeper in certain areas and then folding the paper over, but it's working out very nicely. These at the bottom I will take off with a piece of sandpaper or a nail file, so I'm not really worried about those. Now we'll go through our bottle, and I'm just going to use my thumb to work out any air bubbles or glue pockets and just press them down. Now I'm trimming the excess paper from the bottom of the bottle, and then I will use some sandpaper to sand right around the edges so it's nice and smooth. Okay, before I go any further with my little bottles, I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge on them just to protect the paper, and then we will start embellishing them. So I've decided that I'm going to put this little mermaid on the bottle. The mermaid is from a piece of paper with mermaids on it. And so I've got to crinkle up the paper like I did before. I want it to have a little bit of a weathered look. And I'm going to put her on the back of the bottle. I think it will look good to use this small rope around the neck of the bottle. So I'm going to use my mini hot glue gun to do this. If I used a regular size hot glue gun, it would just be too much glue and it would seep out everywhere. So this way I can just put little tiny dabs and put them in as I'm wrapping
the rope around the neck of the bottle. The rope is now wrapped around the neck of the bottle. It looks great. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup now. It is time for me to decide how I want to embellish this cute bottle. I have some jewelry wire, so I'm going to put some beads on it, and I found a little shell that I'm going to also put on the wire. In my little box of goodies, I found this nice shiny flat shell. So I am going to go ahead and hot glue this onto the front of the bottle as well. This shell has a little hole in it, so I'm going to hot glue a rhinestone underneath it, but so that it shines through it. I think that will add a nice little detail.
Now I'm going to attach this label, and I don't know if I'm going to call this Ocean Potion or Mermaid Ocean Love Potion. These are the ideas I have kind of swirling around in my brain. And then I wondered if I should add another mermaid to the front, maybe crossing over the label. Ooh, maybe under the label. Maybe that's what I'll do. For the mermaid on the back, I crinkled the paper, and you can kind of tell when you look at her. I'm thinking on the front, I will not crinkle it, and I'll put her over here under the shell, like that. I think that's what I'll do, because otherwise I would need to put her here, which isn't so bad. Actually, let's see, let's put this down here and try this out. All right, if we put her, I can pick her up. If we put her here and we have our label here and then she goes here. Oh, that's cute. I totally could do that. That's pretty cute. She could go like that. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. That looks good. Oh, and I'll put, I think maybe I'll put the label over her. And then if I can, I don't know, but I don't know if you guys can even see this. See her hand? If I can do it, I'll not put glue on her hand, and then I'll put her hand over the label and then glue it down. That's what I think I would like to do. I want to make sure I get her in the right place, so I'm thinking right about there. I hope I have positioned her correctly. I was gonna write on this before I put it on here, but because we're trying to position it under her hand, I don't want to write on it and then have her hand like be in the way or something. So I'm going to take my chances and put the label on and write on it afterwards. I think we'll be fine. Okay, here we go. I don't really want to have to move this around once I put it down. Let me get her little hand out of the way. Okay. I want to slide that down, wrap that around. Okay. Wonderful. So far so good. And now I can get some adhesive under her hand and then press that down. Let's get that under there. Okay. I'm going to use this pen so that I can press down firmly without getting my fingers sticky. So while I'm waiting for the label to dry so that I can write on it, I'm gonna go around her with just a little bit of this Mod Podge, and I don't want to make her not shiny. I'm not gonna go really over top of her, I'm just gonna go around the edges because I don't want the shine to go away, like I said, because she has like this metallic surface. All right, I think this is coming along. I'm gonna let this dry for a couple of minutes. I'm going to attach something to the top, and I think it should be a shell, but I wanna try out some of these beads that I have. Yeah, no, I think they're cute, but a little silly.
I have decided to decorate the top with the shell, but under the shell I'm going to put a gem. And under the gem, I'm going to put a tiny piece of paper with little tiny red hearts. I decided to tone down the stark white with some rose gold paint.
Here it is close up. So it's a little softer. Try to get it closer to you. Yeah, so it's a little softer, but you can see the tiny hearts on there. I'm gonna get this, hopefully it's not clogged. Big giant blob's gonna come flying out. Oh my gosh, are you guys holding your breath waiting for it? Crap. All right, here, let's do it this way. Let's undo the top. There we go. We're putting our hearts on there. And I will put some glue down now. And I'm gonna test it before that glue dries. Let's see how this goes. I gotta look at it while I do it, guys. It's pretty cute. These are ultra fine markers, and I'm gonna write the label on there now. I went over it, I wrote it in black. Now I'm gonna go over it with pink, just for an additional layer of color. So here we have it. We have our shell on top, and there's a little gem underneath. We have our rope that I wrapped around, and our other shell that's tied and some beads. This shell with a little gem inside, I know you can see it shine when I do that. It's right there. And we have our little mermaid and our label. And then on the back, we have our worn mermaid here. This is just the bottom of the bottle, nothing happened in there. You can see it's a glass bottle. So there it is. I'm super happy with it. And I went with Ocean Love Potion. And I just think it's cute and I love it.
Thanks for joining me today. Please hit like and subscribe if you had a good time. Thanks for watching. See you soon.